you. Because some of these kids that have been suicidal, see, they don't want to tell you all this stuff on the news because they still going to make that money one way or another. But the bottom line is that some of these games these kids are getting so deeply engaged in, they're stuck in those games that subliminally are planting in their heart stuff that shouldn't be there. And you wonder why they're so addicted to it. But the reality is, you talk to my brother, he'll tell you, they meant these games to be addicted. That's not an accident. And most of the folk that make the games won't let their children use them. And our kids spend 4, 5, 6, 7 hours on that stuff. And most of us don't even know where they're going. We're living in the final hours of Earth's history. If you think the devil will say, yes, I want to see them saved. I'm going to plant godly principles in them. Because I know I'm going to get burned up, but I just want to see them saved. If you believe that, I got some prime swampland to say. But Nehemiah, after the investigation and the lamentation, let me tell you something. Some of this stuff got to break your heart, y'all. How can children go from kindergarten to 12th grade, graduate with a piece of paper and can't read? How can parents work 2 or 3 jobs and still not make ends meet? How can the level of abuse and violence continue in our communities uncontested? And that's not just in poor communities, by the way. Some of these places that look like palaces are nothing more than prisons. They just look nicer on the outside. I'm bringing these things up today because we've got to recognize that Jesus even prayed in John chapter 17. If you go back and read that out later on today, Jesus never ever wanted us out of the world. Jesus even prayed, Father, keep them in the world. Because the reality is that if the gospel just continues to permeate that little circle we call church or family or whatever it is, it starts to putrefy. Well, and we've got a world that is, why do you think folk don't believe in God anymore? Because there's not enough godly folk that are engaged in their lives. Come on. Christ has been politicized. Folk talk about Jesus, but they also talk about separating parents from their children. Folk talk about Jesus, but they talk about cutting food stamps for the poor. Folk talk about Jesus, but they're cutting Medicaid. Folk talk about Jesus, but they're not concerned about whether or not people have adequate homes to live in, clothes to wear, food to eat. So people are looking at that and saying, if that's your God, you can have it. And so there has to be a counter working from the church of the living God that says, Father, how can I make a difference? What's the burden you have for me? And you've got to be able to allow God to open your eyes so you can see what's going on. Amen. To understand it's not going to change by somebody else getting involved. That we've got to engage this thing ourselves. We've got to be involved. This church is supposed to be a movement. Am I lying, Elder? Right. Not a denomination. Amen. I get so upset when folk talk, because I'm part of the Seventh-day Adventist denomination. That's nice. We've got truth. Well, live it out. God said, go ye into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature. Come on. But we sit around Those of us that will study that, we'll leave that alone. And we debate the finer points of what it means for us to be together. And we talk about the church and what it's not doing. And we're disappointed about the organization. And the young people are disappointed with the institution. And the young adults are. I'm glad you're here today. But in most churches, they're absent. And then they have the nerve up to tell me, I don't need church anymore. My wife has a way of saying, how's that working for you? We're divorced from ourselves, don't know who we are, where we came from, where we're going. We don't even want to get up in the morning because it looks like the world is falling apart. How's that working for you? We're divorced from each other because we're not real. We're ingenuous in most of our relationships. Some folks give you that phony happy Sabbath. Boy, if you're hungry, don't you bring your hands around. Need some money, go to the church. And we think somehow we're going to sprout wings and go to glory. But I got news for you today. God cares about every one of those that are lost, that people consider to be last, left behind, lonely, discouraged, homeless, helpless. I'm glad you said y'all going to the prison because I'll leave that all to pieces of it. So I'm glad y'all doing that. Y'all going to Central. Praise the Lord. Amen. The bottom line is that we got folks locked up. I know something about Florida, but I don't know as much. Matter of fact, Florida may be in many ways worse than Alabama. Yeah. When it comes to the prison system. And we're already, Alabama's under federal decree right now. Because we have the most dangerous prisons in the nation. We have the highest suicide rate. We have the most rapes and violations. We have antiquated spaces that even the jail cells don't lock. We've got more murders taking place. 2 years ago, the federal government came in and said, y'all, we're going to do a study, but we already know what's getting ready to happen. If y'all don't handle this thing in the next year and a half to 2 years, we're going to have to take over the system. And right now, they have gone beyond the time that they were supposed to do something about this thing. And the thing that blows my mind is the church is silent. Who's locked up? Yes. Ain't somebody else. You go to any prison in America. Matter of fact, you go to any prison around the world, and the majority of those incarcerated, even in predominantly white countries, are still black. So we all criminals? Everybody's a criminal? Everybody's a criminal. We got the highest incarceration rate in the world. And some of us are ashamed to tell folks we have people incarcerated. I want that to sink in just for a second. And the reality is, I know this. All I have to do is get up 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning on my way to the hospital, on call, credentials and all it takes is somebody to say they're not having a good night and pull me over, and it may not end well for either one of us. So I'm just saying, wake up. We need each other. Nehemiah recognized this. Tell your children to keep their mouth shut in certain situations. Your time is not to argue with the police or the sheriff. What can I do for you, sir? I was speeding. Oh, well, what do you need me to do? You want my license and registration and everything? Could I get them? Oh, you don't have to. Oh no, can I get them? They are over there in the glove compartment. Oh, hey, I learned this a long time ago. Yes, sir. And if they start talking crazy, I'm just looking at the badge number. Yes, yes. I'm gonna call my lawyer just as soon. Oh, I can move now? Oh. Oh, you don't have to do it? Oh, that's all right, sir. I can wait. But you have to. Some of our young people get killed because they don't know how to be quiet. Survive the encounter. Tell them who it was and then call your lawyer. Let them handle it. You don't have to worry about dying when they're talking to your lawyer. Without being in the street. But anyway. So Nehemiah laments 4 months. Nehemiah gets to that point where he says, all right, God, as you read the prayer, we read the prayer together. First he talks about how great God is. Then he talks about the sins of himself and his family and his people. Then he talks about the promises God made to his children. And then he closes up celebrating the goodness of the Lord and asking God to intervene. Now once he's done the investigation, he's had lamentation. Now the supplication takes place. He asks God, Lord, give me what I need so I can rebuild the wall. Doesn't ask for somebody else to do it. Doesn't hope somebody else might do it. Doesn't depend on other folk. Doesn't call together a committee. Oh man. That's right. That's right. Great. I don't even see where he called the board. Matter of fact, he said, look, this is on me. He goes to the king and says, King, I've got to go back home. The things are not going well for my people. My folk are struggling. The walls, the walls and gates of the city of my ancestors is in ruin. I've got to do something. King says, no problem. There's something else here you got to get. Folk will help you that don't even necessarily care about you when you're doing the right thing. Yeah. As a matter of fact, the wealth of the wicked is stored up for the just. That's right. But not to get fat off of. It's to do ministry. That's right. And the reality is that oftentimes the reason we can't get resources because we're not doing ministry. We're not changing people's lives. That's why the church right now is in a precarious situation. They're trying to take away the tax exempt status for churches. Because they say, y'all been around here all these hundreds of years, but you haven't made a difference. Taking up all that money. Matter of fact, a lot of folk in the black community are now saying, what difference does church make anyway? We got more churches per capita in the poorest areas of the nation anyhow. I'm just throwing it out there. I still believe in the church. But the church is not a building. It's not an organization. In the purest sense, it's not an institution. It's not an organization, it's an organism. And if it's not healthy, it will not grow. And God has a world out here that's broken and wounded and sick and suffering. And they look at the church and you can't oftentimes find Jesus. But the good news. When we have decided that it's no longer going to be business as usual. And I'm going to throw this out here. Now, right now, my church is in a season of fasting and prayer in Montgomery and Hillsborough. I told them we can't go any further than we are until we actually let God take full control of our lives.
All right.
It's not going to happen. I said we can keep on going through the rounds, and I'm sure God blesses, and we have some awesome worship services, but at the end of the day, unless our heart is right with God, God cannot do what he wants to do with us. Amen. Because most of us don't even fast anymore. We don't take the time to agonize before God. We don't even agonize for our own children. Yeah, I know Johnny ain't doing right, but I'm just going to pray for him and see what the Lord does. Prayer's good, but faith without works is dead. Amen. And do we really realize, do you understand, if Jesus comes today, every lost family member we have will lose their soul? What are we waiting on? Well, preacher, you shouldn't be all that intense. It's God's word. But God uses people. Yes, sir. I'm almost through. God uses people. Some of us wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for somebody he used. Amen. Might have been a mom. Could have been a dad. Might have been a student, classmate, a friend or associate. But somebody brought us here. Few of us, the Holy Ghost might have brought here. But the majority of us, somebody brought us here. Somebody loved us at times in our lives when we didn't think anybody cared. Somebody showed us some kindness and we knew it was not ordinary. Somebody did something for us and they didn't want anything in return and it blew our minds. There's a reason that everybody's here. And I just want to say today that just like Nehemiah, most of us are doing well. But because of us doing well, to whom much is given, much is required. We can't just sit around getting fat off the gospel. We need to stay in fighting shape. We need to be involved. By the way, the church doesn't have to do every ministry. By the way, if there's a ministry that's going on in the community and you can get involved in it, get involved with it. You're still supposed to be the Seventh-day Adventist Christian first and foremost. And if God is in you, you can influence people around you regardless of where you are. We don't have to be controlling everything to make it work. Matter of fact, we can't do everything. We don't have enough money. We don't have enough human resources. Can't do everything. But if we hook our plow up to people that are doing things that make a difference in the lives of other folk, and they can see the love of God shining through you, even if you were some of the cold brethren. But they see the love in you. They see the compassion in you. They see the hand of God in your life. Why are you different? What do you mean? Something about you different. And then some other Christians say, there's an anointing on you. Yeah. Who are you? I'm just a child of the living God. Amen. And I fellowship over the Seventh-day Adventist Church here on Saturdays. Would you like to go with me? See, we're depending on all these other things. I'm almost through. We think somebody else is going to do it. And in the 21st century, we figure that 3 ABN is going to do it. They don't even reach most of our people. Folk in the church. People in the world are not hooking up to 3 ABN. Talking about, yeah! I got to see that. They don't even know you exist. Most people don't even know we exist. I'm going to steal something from another preacher. In most of the settings I find myself in, I'm a leprechaun. You hear, Pastor? You're concerned about environmental justice? You're concerned about prison issues? You actually will still get out in the street and protest injustice? What church you say you were part of? Seventh-day Adventist. I thought y'all just went to church on Saturday. That's it. That's all. Can I teach y'all this for a moment before I get ready to go? I'm going to give you the hallelujah, but I got to give you this. For us not to be engaged in the world is not only a travesty, but it's a denial of our history as Seventh-day Adventist Christians. You realize that this church was burned. That's why I'd be laughing at some folk in the church. Pastor, social justice. Are you crazy? Ellen White was involved in the women's suffrage movement. Ellen White was involved in the temperance movement. The church was involved in religious liberty from day one. Matter of fact, they were so deeply engaged that Ellen White even said, because see, understand, religious liberty doesn't mean anything without freedom. Amen. Some of the early folk in the church they said they wanted to be slave holders and Seventh-day Adventists, and Ellen White said, y'all may as well turn that out. Ain't gonna happen here. See, we don't know enough about our history. And when we look at the social justice that birthed this thing, and you recognize that as a church, the three angels' message is all about freedom and deliverance and even Southern work. Southern work Ellen White told us at the turn of the last century. I'm going to use my paraphrase if you don't mind. John let me read something work. She said we were tore from the floor up everywhere. But she said we were supposed to own and operate our own institutions. She said we were supposed to be tradesmen and entrepreneurs. I didn't even got to read this stuff. She said that we were supposed to be self-sufficient. And of course, the brethren that in the early days, so she just said that because of the race problem. Now, this is 2019. Boy, I'd sure like to own and operate something. She knew we'd need that. We'd need a base of our own to be able to work from. She knew that. She said when people came from keeping Sunday to become Sabbath keepers, we should be able to give them jobs. So I'm going to close with this. Are there any Nehemiahs in the house? Because at the end of the day, this work is going to finish anyway. That's right. And if you're waiting for some kind of larger institution to give you all your directions, you'll never be saved. And I have nothing against the church. I love my church. If I didn't believe in it, I wouldn't be here. But I also realize that unless the people of God allow the Spirit of God to push them to make a difference in the world we live in, this work won't be finished by us. It's going to be finished. Matter of fact, one of the things you see now is a shaking going on. It's been going on for a while now. And it's not just happening in Adventism, by the way. Churches membership are down all over the United States of America. Several thousand churches closed every single solitary day. Because there's a shaking going on. And one of the reasons that we're so confused, I want this to be more fun, but I just got to tell them like it is. We're spending too much time imbibing the wine of the world. Most of us don't know the scripture anymore. Some of the older folk used to know the Bible. Mother y'all knew the Bible. They called us people of the book. I don't care how schooled one of the brethren were from another denomination, boy, when they see an Adventist with a Bible, they say, oh, that's all right. That's okay. Yeah, all right. But now, breaks my heart. Hebrew Israelites are tearing us up. Because they proof texted what they've been taught. And most of us don't know the Bible well enough to understand what's going on. And we get confused because we haven't been taught about the black presence in the Bible. Don't know when you start looking at Adam and you start going through the genealogies and that's us. I'm not being prejudiced, I'm not being racist. That's us. Then when young people say, isn't Jesus black? We start running to the hills, boy. Well, I don't care what color he is. And as long as they say me, have no issue with that. Well, here's the issue. Why did they make him white in the first place? Because when you do your history, and I'm saying this to you because our young people are saying, why isn't nobody seems to have the answers? Because 500 AD, the Pope and his brethren had Da Vinci and some others change all the images from black to white because they were concerned about world domination and not the carrying of the gospel of Jesus Christ. And they knew if the images looked like them, then we'd be more prone to worship them as God. You don't go look it up, home. So we have to recognize we live in another world, and you got to be able to answer these young people's questions. And when the young radical brothers and sisters come to you and they start talking about the we're black, yeah, we are, no problem. But God is still the God for everybody. Amen. And you can take the Bible and show them that over and over and over again. God says all nations. House of prayer for all nations. Came to enlighten all nations. And over again, because the reality is that some of us have been beat down so long, we'll even accept a racist God. You know, if I was finish up with your I know y'all ain't invite me back, that's all right. So I want to just close with this. First you have investigation, lamentation, supplication, and then you begin transformation. We've got to make sure that by the grace of God that we allow the Lord to lead us and guide us every step of the way. Because at the end of this journey, there are going to be those that are saved and those that are lost. And God knows to know all this. To know all this. 7 days of Sabbath. Yes, it is. Living know that they shall die, dead know nothing. Yes, it is. Got a health message that we won't want to practice and live. God has given us everything we need. See, here's the thing, and I'm going to quit.